Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Can you help me get home?
So I come back to you guys 3 years later, in the very same shirt. I apologize that it is wrinkled. I literally had to fish it out of my drawer just now, but I haven't worn it in a while. It's time to talk about a follow-up to a really funny comedy from one of my favorite comedic people in Hollywood, and that is Seth MacFarlane. We did in fact get a sequel to that wonderful story about that hilariously foul-mouthed teddy bear, Ted, in a simply titled film, Ted 2. Now, I saw the trailers, they were looking good, and then they weren't looking good, and then it grew on me, and then I kind of said maybe I'll just wait and just do a one that got away, but I have to say that a lot of fellow film critics in the YouTube community were talking about this movie, and a lot of them were saying it's much funnier than you would think. So, I had some time on my hands, and I actually did go out to see it, and I have to say that yes, it was much better than I thought that it would be, but it is far from perfect, and I don't think that it's a good or a bad follow-up to its predecessor. I kind of feel that it was just exactly the same. Now granted, where the first Ted had some shortcomings, Ted 2 did pick up on it a little bit. I think that the strengths that Ted 2 had were the character development. I also liked the story because of the fact that it played on some current and real issues on social commentary, and yes, even though there were a couple of raunchy things that Seth MacFarlane likes to do, a la Family Guy and all of his stuff after that, this definitely still did it with good taste. The fact that Mila Kunis was not in this movie due to the fact that she was pregnant while they were filming, I kind of felt that Amanda Seyfried filled her shoes a little bit better because of the fact that I really didn't appreciate the story of Ted 1. It was too simple, and it just was something that you'd seen so many times before, except for the talking teddy bear, all the raunchy jokes, and Sam Jones from Flash Gordon. However, I will say that, unlike the first Ted, where you pretty much got tons of laughs a minute, you don't get that with Ted 2, though you do get some jokes that kind of miss the mark, but then you get some jokes that when they hit the mark beautifully. A lot of people talked about that scene with the cereal, and yes, that was definitely a good, hilarious scene. Not my favorite. My favorite joke was definitely the play on another big franchise that happens to have a movie in theaters as we speak, and that's all that I'm gonna say. But, like the first one, the thing that really disappointed me about it happens again in the second movie, and that is the fact that Seth MacFarlane once again goes way over the top and does a whole bunch of things in this movie that you really don't need to have. The movie was good for what it was, it had great comedic moments, Mark Wahlberg, Amanda Seyfried, Morgan Freeman, Seth MacFarlane as Ted, everybody played their roles and played their roles well. I actually was happy with the story that Giovanni Ribisi had in this film, while most people felt dissatisfied. What I also was impressed with was the fact that the movie really did put all the necessary elements in the story in well. They were all very good fits. Nothing really seemed to be out of place, except for the fact that once again he goes a little bit over the top. It's a fun movie experience. I wouldn't say go out and spend the full price. I actually say go see it in a matinee if you can. I paid only $8, and for what it was, I'm glad that that's how much it cost rather than 10 or more. It's not a movie that I would want to get on DVD. I mean, I don't own the first Ted either, but when it's on HBO, or if someone brings it over to watch the movie, of course I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch it, because I do like to have laughs, and Seth MacFarlane is always someone that puts a smile on my face. But Ted 2, it got all the parts that made it count, and I am going to give it 2.5 out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please put your comments in the box below. Let's have a discussion about Ted 2. And just for a treat, if some of you have not seen my review of the original Ted, there will be a link for it down below. And I have a feeling you'll be interested, especially if you want to hear me try and pull off a Bostonian accent singing the Thunder Buddy song. I am the Lawn Gnome. I will see you in the next one, and actions speak louder than words.